Should be live now.
Looks like it.
Oh, hello, everybody.
I
I
think
can
you can hear me just fine, right?
I can hear you.
Perfect.
Everybody can hear us.
I think we're good.
Looks like it. Hi, everybody. Hey, Chuchi, Ringy Dingy, Sassy, Jeff, Sonia. There's so many people. Uh, First, I'd like to start off with thank you everybody for being here. It's been a minute since I've been live, and I appreciate those that you know have patiently waited for me to go live. Bullhorn, one of them, you know, Jan, a lot of people have wanted me to go live for a while now. Uh, it's been it's been a hell of a trip. Trip's not over with yet. My son went missing on February 25th, reported missing February 26th, 2024. There's been a lot of people out here running their mouth with nothing good to say. There's people out here that's been, keeping his name out there, and I appreciate everybody that's doing that. Betty being one of them, Jen being another one, uh, Smiley being another one,
Lady Freedom.
Freedom, yeah, and you know, is my son is not the only child out here that's missing, but he's the one that brought me out here to begin with, and until I find him, I'm gonna be out here. A lot of things have been coming out lately. Noticed that At Night turned around and put out a video the other day, and they had a few choice words in there to which henceforth the title of this media hungry. Really, it's a shame that they wanted to sit there and say that I was media hungry. Like every job that I've had, we don't talk to the media because we're not authorized to talk to the media. And you know, if somebody else had done it that was, a parent for my son, I wouldn't have to. And I prefer that they hadn't used that terminology. But they also sat there and stated that the person that I had that was my spokesperson was erratic. And I felt that was just an insult to Mr. Tony Mathis. May he rest in peace. He was a he was a brother to me, and I really just don't appreciate somebody talking crap about somebody that they had no idea about. The fact is At Night and I don't work together. Uh, they don't put anything past me before they put it out there. So sometimes they run their mouth, but there's a lot of people out here that are running their mouth about my son, and not in the good sense. The good sense is to keep his picture out there, as you can see. Miss Betty's got that as her background. You know, there's a lot of people out there that continue to share his posters, share his flyers, and I appreciate all of that. I always want people to share his flyers. I want people to talk about him. My son is He is a candlelight in the dark. And it's been really dark as of late because somebody has hidden that candle from me. I don't appreciate it. But I need my son to know that I am still looking for him. I haven't changed my phone number. It is going to never change because that's the phone number he knows. I want my son to call me. I want my son to call me so I know where he's at, know that he's safe, or that he calls me that he will be safe as soon as I get there, because he's all that really matters to me. And I miss him. You know, it really, really, really kind of sucks. My son goes missing. And then I dealt with a lot of betrayal at the beginning of this. You know, people that I thought I could trust and I could, that come to find out you just can't trust. And it's definitely a learning experience. I hope that at some point in time I can find my son, and you know, if anybody ever needs any advice or anything, I can help them with it too. Because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like not knowing where your kid is. Just knowing that he's not where he's supposed to be. You know, he's not in school. He's not in his room. He's not, you know, at the park playing. He's not at the game store sitting there playing cards. He's not at D&D. He's not fishing. He's not. I don't know where he's at. I just know that he's not where he's supposed to be. And then Mr. Mathis came by, and with Tony, it was like, I asked him to be my spokesperson. He's the only person I asked to be my spokesperson. And I don't know about replacing him because he can't be replaced. Yeah, the position for being a spokesperson can be replaced, but Tony was more than that. Tony was like my brother. He was there. He gave sound advice. He was there to protect me, so I could focus on finding Sebastian. And I just don't appreciate people who don't know him, did not know him, running their mouth about a good man. And, you know, those people, they don't have the right idea in their head for helping find people, find the missing. Somebody wanted, you know, like I said, at night wanted to sit there and say that I was media hungry. I don't even know really what that means. I mean, I have to keep my son's name out there. I got to keep his picture out there because the media doesn't care. Mainstream media does not give two shits about my son. Got individuals that are on social media that do. They care because they share his picture, they share his name. And that's important to me. I do want everybody to know that I am doing things behind the scenes. I haven't stopped. I won't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop until my son is home. I just can't. There's no such thing as stopping, you know. There is no stopping until the goal is met. And the goal is to find my son. His goal is to find my son and bring him home. You know, it's a shame that, and this is, you know, each person is their own. You know, I'm his dad. That's what I want to do, is I want to find him and bring him home, because I believe that's what It's what a parent should want to do. They should want to protect their children. If their children go missing, if their children get hurt, our job is to protect them. You hurt my son, I'm a dad, so you hurt my son, I want to hurt you. You know, my son is lost. I want to find him. I want to make sure that he's not lost. And I want to make sure that he brings home. Sometimes, and this is nothing against you, Miss Betty, you, Jen, you, Lady Freedom, any of the creators that are out there. Sometimes I just feel alone in this because I just do. You know, Tony was the person I would call. I don't have him. You know, but there was other people that relied on Tony. You know, Tony had a daughter, had a son, had a wife, a mom and dad. So many people showed up at his memorial. Just absolutely no room to park. The whole parking lot was full. The empty lot next to it was full. Line out the door. Tony was a good man. Tony touched a lot of people. He sure did touch me. You know, he was that person I could call when I was in just had many conversations with Tony. And the world needs more people like Tony. But hopefully, you guys start seeing things that I've been working on in the background, behind the scenes, slow going. It's really slow going, as Betty right here can tell us. Dealing with politicians is like pulling nails. Only the nails aren't there anymore because somebody already removed the nails. And it's like, you know.
You're describing it entirely too nice.
Well, children may watch this at some point in time. Okay. And, you know, politicians are just pieces. They're
Beep, beep. Hold on.
I don't think that was long enough or loud enough.
I didn't want to blow your eardrums out.
Yeah, then I'd have to scream and yell like somebody else I know. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. But I'm working on it. I mean, I'm still working on it. You can only go as fast as they will move. And politicians don't move. I mean, let's face it. You know, and the politicians that I'm working with actually have other jobs too. And, you know, they're politicians part time and full time other jobs. And, you know, things just aren't moving as fast as I would like to. I'm an impatient person, not as impatient as, you know, Miss Betty here, but I'm still working on it. Been still working on Sebastian's Law, working on other things behind the scene, and should see something hopefully by the end of this coming week. See something else come to fruition or at least begin the fruitation. Because there's other things besides politicians, right, Miss Betty? There's like court systems. They move just as slow, if not slower, than politicians.
It's molasses in Tennessee.
Wait a minute.
Complete molasses.
I'd have to say the reason that they move slower than politicians, but no, they move about the same, because aren't most like judges and stuff like that, aren't they elected too?
Judges are elected, your sheriff's elected, your mayor's elected. However, your mayor's responsible for your police chief. So if you're in a city and you can't stand your police chief, fire your mayor, problem solved.
And on top of that, well, there's other things too, because they may be in control of the police chief, but the sheriff's department normally get their fundage from the mayor as well.
Council, county. Well, typically, I don't know what it is. I think that changes from state to state. Our sheriff we give him an allotment every year, and he does his own budget. I think we give him like $235 million or $275 million, and he just runs his own budget. We give him whatever his max cap is, and he does what he's going to do with it.
Is Sheriff who is it? Sheriff
Grady Judd?
Yeah, is that your sheriff?
No, he's in Polk County. Mine's oh, good gracious. Rick Wells. Good, my gracious. I talked about him almost daily, and my brain went blank.
Too bad there's not more Sheriff, Grady's around.
Yeah, well, I think we have a good bunch of sheriffs here. There's a few questionable sheriffs throughout Florida, but we've got like Broward County Sheriff is pretty good. We've got Polk County Sheriff's really good. Manatee County Sheriff's really good. Like my sheriff here, he was raised with law enforcement, like literally in his blood. Like his DNA is law enforcement. Like it doesn't get, for me, it doesn't get really much better than that. But the crap you got going on for you there in Sumner County, taking care of your son's case, on the other hand, is not.
Taking care. Are you talking about they put him in a basket, rolled it up, threw it in the closet, forgot about it? Because that's how I feel.
That's certainly how it looks. I'm not going to argue with you on that front. It's certainly how it looks.
Yeah, it definitely does. Definitely seems like they have forgot that my son even lived in their county, or has went missing, or anything else. That gets on my nerves,
I think the one thing out of this whole case that gets on my nerves is whenever you told me that you were able to pull right up and walk right into the house, and you were there over an hour later. That's pretty.
They should have had a uniform out there stopping anybody. They should have had some tape up, make sure that
family shouldn't even have been able to be in the house. Most of the time, I've never known any missing child. Even when the child just goes missing in the woods, I watched umpteen million videos, and they make the mom stand outside with them. They won't let her go back in the house. So why in the world was anybody allowed to go back in the house? They should never have been allowed back in the house. You should have never been allowed to walk in that house, no matter how you look at it. That's my biggest pet peeve out of every single thing that I heard from you.
I agree. I should not have been allowed to walk right in there. The fact is I left. I got that message at 7:20, and I got there at about 8:20, 8:30.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about they called it what, 6:30ish. They called
6:33. Yeah.
So 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 2 hours later, and they still don't have the scene locked down.
Mm.
And people could just walk in.
Yeah.
I will let the mods know that I don't care who's in chat. I really don't. If they're not staying on topic of Sebastian or speaking positive about Sebastian, that's when you kick them. I don't care what they say about me. Their kid's not missing. And I'm not really, I will see chat, not really paying attention to it right now. I do know that there's a lot of prayers coming in, and I 100% appreciate that. Um, I appreciate everybody who's joining us. It's, yeah, it's just one of those, it's been a rough last 2.5 years. I mean, my best friend is missing, and I know we're not supposed to be, friends with our kids, but
You know my rule.
Sebastian was like my best friend. I mean, he was my mini me. We played the same.
Yeah, but you had a good relationship. But you were a disciplinarian, so it's not like he got away with anything. I mean, you were crafting a
I
good
didn't
young
get away
man.
with anything. He ain't getting
So
away with
don't yeah,
anything.
yeah. Well, I know, but you're like he's my best friend. But you also you know
He was
taught
my
him how to
best friend when it came down to the things that we do.
right,
Playing video games, playing cards, playing D&D, going fishing, road trips. Like, he was my road dog. He was
right.
my son. He was always down to go do something fun.
I
Unless
mean, to be honest with you, he was a high functioning autistic boy, but many children don't learn how to swim. Your son was a very good swimmer. Has gone to the gun range with you. There's just a multitude of things that you guys have done together. I mean, he was a bright, smart young man, and I think that
no,
that needs to
I
be
have to interrupt you for a second. Uh, I don't even like to say he was high functioning because Sebastian functioned.
right.
You know, a lot of people, and I've seen this, a lot of people use high functioning as he's easy to deal with. Well, children are not easy to deal with. All right. Most adults are not very easy to deal with either. But Sebastian was very gifted, in my opinion. I mean, he had a brain on top of them, that shoulders that was still developing, still learning. Unfortunately, he had some he had some hurdles placed in front of him, and I particularly think he was doing quite well with those hurdles, especially in today's society. Unfortunately, some of those hurdles should have never been put in front of him. But you know, I'm also seeing a lot in the news and stuff these days with children that just they're failing society because their parents failed them. And the last thing I wanted to do was fail my own son. He's my son. I don't want to fail him. I want to prepare him for the world, prepare him for everyday life and the fact that you don't get things your way. And as an adult, you know that you don't get things your way. And if you don't prepare your children to be disappointed in shit, then you're setting them up for failure. Um, there's a lot. I mean, I just read an article earlier today about three teens tried to break into somebody's house and they're no longer breathing. Their parents failed them. Their parents failed to express to them that, hey, you got to earn what you want. You can't just go take other people's stuff. And unfortunately, that doesn't work if you're not willing to teach your kids that you have to be willing to go out there and earn your way. You can't just go out there and take what other people have gathered. We don't live in that type of society, and that is not a very civilized society. And unfortunately, some places, I'm not saying Florida, because alligators get their way, But and we all know Florida man, you know, he'll wrestle that alligator for that McDonald's cheeseburger. So
Don't
but
discredit our hogs.
what?
I said, don't discredit the hogs. That's
Hey,
just
I'm from Kansas. I know what a pig farm's used for. I mean, I know where I mean, I don't know anything. All my stuff disappeared on a boat wreck in the middle of the ocean where I never been. Um, it's you know just every day trying to find something that will. There's just a lot of negativity. So finding that one little thing that'll make you smile sometimes is the difference between having a good day and a bad day. You know, I have a feeling that we are still far from finishing this trip. I do believe that my son is alive, and I'll fight anybody that wants to say otherwise until evidence is brought to me that states otherwise. I can't put that in out there in the air more than enough that my son is alive, and that's it. My son is alive. He's just lost. He's lost because I personally believe somebody has placed him somewhere, and was done in the dark, because obviously this was done in the dark, will come to the light, and I'm hoping to be the person to shine the light on it, because I can't rely on Sumner County to find my son, which is why I continue to ask people to please send your tips and stuff in to the FBI. Uh, I communicate with the FBI. Uh,
and the FBI's been the only one willing to change out photos and update photos
on the flyers,
on the flyers.
you know, Sumner County can say whatever they want. I mean, they already tried to sit there and say they're the reason the FBI put the $50,000 reward out there, but yet Sumner County and TBI won't even change the pictures on Sebastian's missing flyer or talk about him or hold a press conference or any of that sort of stuff. They just Sumner County and that other side of that family just seem to be all on not talking about my son. Like, oh, we'll just sweep it underneath the carpet. Well,
They didn't just stop talking. They removed flyers off their vehicle. They stopped posting on social media. They took off out of the freaking state. I mean,
yeah, they went to Mississippi right afterwards. And what's funny about that is, that Mississippi does not have an extradition order for any other state on anything that is not a felony or above.
Mm.
When I heard that they went, and I knew that about Mississippi, I was like, that's suspect in itself. But I still hold her responsible. She was supposed to be taking care of our son. I hope Chris right now is enjoying his time. It's summer, summer breaks going on.
we're going to go down this avenue.
I don't have my son for the summer.
Okay.
So why he's out there playing I'm a daddy with his daughter? I feel sorry for Faith.
I do too. I can agree with that.
Faith deserves better. Nina, she's living in abject horror because her daughter is here in Tennessee.
I can't imagine being Nina. I will. Nina is absolutely a very, very brave woman. I would have to think that she's pretty stinking nauseous over all of this. Just to do a mic check, I know some people were saying my mic was up too loud. I realized there was multiple settings on my computer, and I know Seth said something about it when we came in. I told him to turn his volume down, but
I
when I'm
did.
next, but when
I
I'm
did
next to
turn my
him, I
down.
was
It's
louder. But
still loud. I mean,
I I've
well,
adjusted it as much as I can. I've taken everything down to 50%. At some point,
it's fine, Betty. I know you're
okay,
loud.
I
You
am
gotta
loud.
you gotta
I'm
turn your
louder than my bullhorn. I am
you got
literally
we
bullhorn
know that
Betty.
too. The only difference is your bullhorn is bejeweled, right, Sonia?
Yes, but I dropped it. My
And broken.
screen hit it. I didn't
Surprised that
break
you
it,
don't
but
have one of those lantern things
it's
that,
not looking as snazzy as it once did.
well, probably doesn't sound as snazzy anymore either. But
Oh, it sounds just fine when are you kidding me? My bullhorn's gonna be working until the day they put me in the ground. And it's
well,
gonna sound just as snazzy as it did the day I got it. I'm just letting you know.
well, hopefully we're not listening after you put yourself in the ground, because then that's just weird. Like, I don't believe they
Well,
carry
it has been a
people.
weird kind of few several years. I mean,
Did you ever think that we'd be here?
no. I was hopeful that we would have knowledge of what happened to your son a long time ago, but when you look back on the case, you kind of see where there was a lot of balls dropped at the beginning in the investigation. And I kind of speak about that quite often when I refer to the Nancy Guthrie case because of the simple fact that, we should be so much further than we were in the 1990s when we were taking care of John Benet Ramsey. They had people in that house during John Benet Ramsey, and that changed, protocols or for law enforcement across this country during the John Benet Ramsey case. And it just is so blessed frustrating that we have a situation where it seems like the um, the policies that created the problems in the John Benet Ramsey case are here. If they wouldn't have allowed the family and the friends to gather in the home, would they have been able to keep the contamination down? They cross contaminated the crime scene so blessed much that I think that we are here all these decades later because of the initial investigation. And I feel like that was a critical mistake that they did, and I don't think that they ever did forensics like they should have done at the beginning. I feel like they gave way too much time to clean things up, and we still don't even know to the level of forensics that they did. Because when you look at what Hawkins County Sheriff, going out, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson had just recently said about Don and Candace Wells all these years, we thought that they had did an interrogation with them or had them on the record for something, and then we find out just here on the 5-year anniversary that the law enforcement never even got an opportunity to really talk to them. And it's like, all these years we thought that they were interrogated. We thought that they did, forensics and pulled their cars and did forensic testing of their cars. They didn't do squat. And I bet you when push comes to shove, I have a funny feeling we're going to find out that we might find that those same elements happened in your son's case as well. Just
Well, I'll tell you right now that the only thing that they did with the vehicles, and they didn't even do it with mine, but from my understanding, what they did with just his mother's is they took a dog in there.
that's not good enough, because there was enough people that warrant scrutiny, especially on um, Kathy Bowersox, because multiple people had thought that they saw her up at sitting on the side of the
6
road,
separate people that had no relation to
no
each other.
relationship with one another. Something happened that morning. We don't know what. I mean, we can speculate, but at the bottom line is that something is not right. There was some type of exchange, because at the end of the day, we know what direction Miss Proudfoot was going during that morning. And to explain it, she said she was going up to the school at 6:30 in the morning, but never got out to check the school. I don't know.
Never rolled down windows. Never even was looking. Believe me, I spoke. I spoke with the principal.
Yeah.
They watched the video footage before Sumner County took it. And the
Wow.
principal told me, he was like, we zoomed in and watched her come onto the property. And all she did was come in, drive right by the front of the building, and then leave. And they were like, we zoomed in, and the windows were rolled up, and she wasn't even looking left or right.
Is it possible she didn't think he really ran away, that he was just somewhere in the house?
Is it possible she knows that he didn't fucking run away?
Oh, that too.
You don't look for something when you know where it's at. You don't look for your keys when you're going to leave if you know where they're at.
Let's wind down a little bit. We weren't going to go down this road. Take a breath. Take a breath.
You know, of all things, Tony was like, he was like, you have every right to be angry.
You do.
And pissed off because it's your son. But the fact is she's still responsible. He was under her roof. If something happened to him while he was under my roof, then I would be responsible.
But this isn't the first thing that detrimentally changed your son's course since he's been with Katie. So it seems like.
Yeah, all the shit that I got for that, for telling people, but it was to let people know that, hey, shit has happened underneath her roof to my son.
And it's happened again. This time, a much longer sentence so far.
You know, every day I pray that God has his angels looking out for my son, keeping him safe. I want him home. I want him safe. I want him home. I want to hug him and never let him go. It's like, what? I just want my son.
You need to take a break?
Just need to breathe. I'm out of coffee.
No. If you want me to, I'll go through some.
No, let's go ahead. I know you pulled up Sebastian's Law.
I did.
I know that you don't use StreamYard anymore, but you can share stuff to StreamYard on here, can't you? Or not?
I can. Let me see what I can do behind the scenes here.
You want me to hit the remove button?
No, you just need to add that.
There's a really big lag between StreamYard and YouTube.
Most likely, yep. But do you see it down there at the bottom? Look down at the bottom of StreamYard. Next to my face. There you go. There you go. Let me see if I can just screw this over. There you go.
I don't think I can make it bigger.
That's about as big. I mean, I can zoom in if you want me to zoom in. Can I zoom it in? It's not letting me make it any bigger either. I can probably make the print bigger, maybe. Let's see if I can make the print bigger for you. I can't make it any bigger. I don't see it where I can make it any bigger, but maybe I can change the print.
I mean, I can read the majority of it, but we can go over this.
Well, I wouldn't read it. I mean, if people want it, I can put it out. But if you want to just generally go over what it all means to people, because I
Oh,
think you'll start reading it. If you start reading it, you're going to lose them in the legalese of it. But I think you need to, explain them that the purpose of this law, what it was designed for, and maybe that angle would probably be better.
a lot of the things that I have that went into this is the hurdles and road bumps that I have come across in the process of my son going missing.
Explain those. Explain some of the hurdles and stuff, because people that are out here in the public, they don't understand what it's like to be a parent of a missing person, let alone a missing child, and that investigation turn into a criminal investigation. They don't understand what all the challenges and nuances are. Now, you're not going to be able to explain every single one of them, but if you want to give some generalization, I think that will help them understand.
Um, well, one of the worst things that I've come across is the fact that as the parent that's looking for the child, you have to pretty much do whatever the cops tell you. Hopefully, your child never goes missing and you never have to deal with anything of that sort. But if your child does go missing, I pray that the police department is 100% on trying to find your child because Sumner County hasn't. And part of what I put into this was taking and giving the parents the authority to pull it from the police department that's not doing anything and giving it to a higher department, mainly the FBI. In this, right, in Sebastian's law, I've actually
Because currently it's basically law enforcement and the DA have to agree for the FBI to step in. Is that accurate?
um Sumner County says that they have no authority to give it to the FBI. That's what they've told me.
Who does?
Nobody. In
I
fact,
disagree with
what
that.
was
I mean,
told
this
to
is a
me,
child. This is a child. Jennifer Coffindaffer
oh
put
God,
a statement on her page when it with relation to Nancy Guthrie, and she said that the FBI has a law that allows them to step in and supersede local law enforcement with relation to kidnapped persons that last over 24 hours because they can presume that they went over state lines. And I remember asking, can this also be used in the Sebastian Rogers case? And I don't recall whether or not I received an answer for that, but I do recall something to that effect, where FBI could step in under the premise that a person, specifically a child, I mean, a child who I would think would supersede an adult in this matter. And if certainly if they can say that a person that's been missing for more than 24 hours is presumed over state lines, certainly they can use it in your son's case as well to step in and maybe take hold of this case. So maybe we need to start looking at some legal avenues, um, to search, to force the hand, maybe, or give the FBI an opportunity to take over the case.
you know, it's like the FBI. It's like I tell everybody that the FBI is assisted, as in Sumner County has lead on the case,
And
and if
people don't
they
understand that.
ask the FBI for help, then the FBI assists them with whatever they are wanting help with. But the FBI doesn't have jurisdiction over the case. There's no evidence or proof that Sebastian is outside of Tennessee. And Sumner County, one of the things that came across that I found is that and we're not going to even get on the coffin laughing person, um,
Right.
because that individual gave
Seems
me.
like you're so endearing.
If you knew the lies that she told me and Tony,
Well, let's not get into all of that right tonight.
you
But
know,
just go on ahead. I was just talking about a specific law she had posted about. I'm actually looking for it right now. I remember seeing it like a week ago. So while you're talking, I'm gonna try to find it. So maybe it's something that you. Oh, I see Jilly Bean in here. Something that we might want to talk about in the future, or look at in the future. Anyways, go ahead.
I mean, but with Sebastian's law, it literally sits there. It the main thing about Sebastian's law is restructuring CPS and DCS and giving them a federal database, because too many times abusive parents towards children will have CPS called on them, and then they'll move to another state, and those CPS cases don't follow them because they're state regulated and ran. And the states, it's like politicians don't communicate with each other. State organizations do not communicate with each other. You literally have to have an attorney that is licensed in both states in order to actually get two state agencies to communicate with each other. If that's not ass backwards, I don't know what isn't. And literally, Sebastian's law is to put a federal database so that way states don't have to communicate with each other. They just pull up the child's name. When you pull up the child's name, it pulls up any report to do with that child and any other child that was in that residence, no matter where they lived, whether it was in Wyoming, Washington, California, Georgia, Tennessee, Ohio, any of it, you know, child's name, social security number, pull it all together and be done with it. So that way, abusive parents can't run and hide from, the consequences of their bad behavior. That's the main part of it. The other part is to have the parents, when a missing child case, to give the parents the authority to be like, listen, you're not finding my son and you're not showing me anything that states that you are still working on it. And I can petition the FBI to take over the case with it, and I even set stipulations in there, 30 days, no movement. I can petition the FBI. The FBI can come in and go over the law enforcement agency and be like, well, if this is what you've been doing and we don't see that you're moving along, then yes, you have to give us the case. Or if they come in and they start looking at the case and they're like, well, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong, they can hold those people in that department responsible for what's going on with the case, with the child, and with the parents. Because the one thing that I feel like in this is I'm a little paper boat in the ocean, and I'm being thrown around by law enforcement agencies and corruptness, and and I don't live there. That's the worst part, is I don't live there, so I really have no say in what's going on in that county.
So the law that she referred to was Lindbergh Law. It is 18 USC Section 1201. And this is a federal code. And it's what it says here is Lindbergh Law is a federal statute in the United States that makes kidnapping a federal offense if the victim is transported across state lines or in international borders, or if acts take place within special maritime, territorial, blah, 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 blah. According to, Jennifer, she says, due to Section 1, subsection B says that after 24 hours, there is presumption that the kidnapping crossed state lines, squarely giving the FBI jurisdiction. So that's under that's under subsection B. She also has two, if the offense uses any means, facility, or instrumentality of interstate commencement to commit or further the crime, it falls within federal jurisdiction. So, I'm wondering if there is some way to give them authority under this Lindbergh Law, if true, if subsection B. Let me look at subsection B. Let me look at the law itself. Subsection B. 24-hour rule. It says 24-hour rule.
I will tell you right now that I do not know if the FBI is not running their own separate investigation into
Gotcha. Well, you might want to ask them. Because it looks like there is some.
I speak to my FBI liaison, and he tells me what he tells me.
Right.
Tips are still coming in. They're still working on the case. I do know that if I get tips in and it's in a state other than Tennessee, that he will jump on it, and that my PI will write him a report. My FBI liaison and actually likes my PI because of how they do their reports and how they submit them to them, and it covers everything that they need covered so that they can do what needs to be done. I've had reports that my son was in Arizona, and when I got that tip, I had a location, I had a time, and we had everything all put into an email and sent it to them, and they cleared it within 24 hours. They were there. They pulled video camera. I mean,
this law here allows them to presume after 24 hours that they crossed state lines.
Right. Well, Sebastian's law doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Sebastian's law just states that even if it's in the same state, that the FBI can take over.
Gotcha.
It states that.
And yours is not for just state law. This is you're trying to make and create a federal law. So you need a Senate bill and an accompanying House bill at a federal level in order to push this across the finish line.
Correct. Which means at some point in time, I'm going to ask for volunteers in other states to start making appointments with
politicians. Yeah.
Because you got to get in front of your representative. You got to face to face and hand them to him. That way, when he gets up to where they're, hey, have you heard this? All of our House of Representative members, all of that already know and have heard of Sebastian's law. So it's one of those things that, everybody needs to know about it and help push it through, because it's supposed to be we the people.
Right. And not only that, but the problem that I see, I guess what I see in other cases is that whenever you have a faulty investigation or an investigation that doesn't, rise to the level of investigation that we're accustomed to seeing this day and age, and the families get frustrated and say there's corruption or some form of good old boy system, or this arrogance that is very much seen in the law enforcement community. uh, I find it I find we need something where we get control, a little bit of control back, or at least some type of step, where you can potentially get your case somewhere without having to go to these corrupt individuals. And I call corrupt, and they may not be to the true definition of
It
corrupt.
could
It
be
might just be a good
incompetent.
old boys, yeah, incompetence or something
Incompetent
like.
is just as bad as corrupt.
Right. And you really need somebody that has some knowledge to stick their eyes and hands on this case. And you're at the mercy of incompetent people, DAs and sheriffs, and it's like you're going and begging these people to please hand your case over, and they're like, nope. It's just going to take some time, and it's like people don't want to hear that. People are
See, right
tired.
here with Sebastian's Law, it will put the urgency back into it,
Mhm.
because if they mess up, listen, I can get it taken from your hands and given to the FBI if you are not showing the urgency of finding my missing child.
Right.
They need to be responsible for the investigation, for the consequences of not doing the investigation properly,
Mhm.
you know, period. And Rosebud, yes, yes, every missing child would be viewed as a criminal act. Every missing child.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. I know that there are some children that, go missing and stuff like that, but even children that are running away, if you're starting to have a child that's running away, there's something else going on in that child's life. Whether there's history of abuse at home, or if maybe they're being abused by somebody else, and they don't want to say it, or they don't know how to say it, or something's go typically when I see these types of things, I realize that it truly is something's going on in that child's life. So I just feel like there needs to be more awareness, especially when it comes to domestic violence and abuses inside of the home. And that's the problem is, uh, in Tennessee predominantly, we're finding out that they have no rooms. They've got no place to put these kids. So instead of removing these children from the homes and having no place to put them, they leave them in the homes and find out reasons to close out their cases before they're removing them from the home. And I just find, and this is widespread all over the state of Tennessee. And for somebody like, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, where they live, their home environment, there's nobody that's going to, in my opinion, the reason why he was there is because they went to that house and they knew that by pulling him out, he was going to go to someplace inferior of that house. And I truly believe that they closed the case because of the way the way the facade. Just my opinion.
I'm typing. I hear you.
Yeah, that's okay.
It,
I'm gonna take. Do you want me to keep this up here?
you can keep it up there or take it down. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I was answering Rosebud. Yes, all missing children should be investigated criminally. At the very beginning, they told me that while Sumner County was looking, TBI said they were investigating it as a criminal thing. I never saw the FBI card team come in, and then my research with the FBI card team is they do not they do not
They don't have to be right there on the grounds to do their job.
Well, no. What I found out was that the card team normally does not investigate children kidnapping of by family members.
Hmm.
That was a big that was a big issue to me. And I when I found that out, it was just kind of like, you know, it that told me,
That's insane. I've never heard that before.
it kind of told me,
Because I thought they did do geofencing. I thought the CART team was there. I could have sworn I read that the FBI CART team was involved.
I never saw where the card team was there. I do know that Sumner County did geofencing.
Hmm.
That they were the ones that did geofencing, and then Detective Davis, who is retired, by the way. Everybody that was working on this at the
I
beginning
know, it's retired.
has retired.
I think there was some type of conspiracy behind the scenes that I think when under scrutiny would not survive. I don't know. There just seems you're right. There was
But
a
I will
slew
tell
of people that
that
retired.
I never once met any of the FBI agents there. And remember, I was there Monday, Tuesday,
Every
and
day.
Wednesday. I never met a single FBI agent.
Makes you wonder if they even are we sure they called him in?
I'm speaking with the FBI.
But I know, but it's different than calling them in those first few days versus
It was
speaking to them after.
TBI in Sumner County.
Oh shit. And TBI sucks. I'm sorry. TBI sucks. I haven't found them useful in one freaking Tennessee case yet. I mean, they find people that are easy to find, but they give up so easy when the anyways, I don't even want to I'm just
I mean, TBI won't communicate with me either.
I don't like TBI.
I've called, I've left the messages. I got a response back from, my liaison officer, his boss, and once, and that was it. That was it. It's
No wonder, and you kept hearing Craddock saying we're doing everything that the professionals told us to do. It's like, well, that's you ain't calling the professionals. You're calling the state of Tennessee. The state of Tennessee has mismanaged funds for years. I'm very familiar with the fact that they tax their people out the wazoo, and then they don't give them services. Guys, I just want to let you know. Maybe a lot of people out there don't know this, but in Tennessee, you they lock their sheriff's departments and police departments. There are safe spaces and safe places here in Manatee County. So if you, what the hell is up with what this locking of sheriff's departments and stuff like that?
I'll tell you right now, it's the same thing in Oklahoma, in Kansas.
I don't think so. I know it's North Carolina.
No. When you go to a police station or a sheriff's office,
that's insanity.
You can walk right in, and there's a waiting room, and there's a waiting room, and there's somebody behind the window. Here, no.
They lock.
Now I will tell you here in Montgomery County that if you go to the sheriff's office, you can walk right in.
I'm not down like that.
But I know in Sumner County, you've got to get access. Someone has you have to ring the bell and wait for somebody.
Tell them what the sheriff did when you were there. Tell them what the sheriff did when you were there.
Which time? The fact that
just about every time the same. You know what? The same thing he did to me when I was there. Please tell him.
Go ahead.
Snuck in, scared, had to sneak in. We was so scared to even stop and talk. This is the father of a missing child in his community, and this sheriff, he's outside of just wanting to find out what's going on in his son's case, and Sheriff Craddock sneaks in and doesn't want to talk to him. Scared of a child's father, a missing child's father. What kind of sheriff does that?
Nobody should be scared of me unless you got something to hide or you're not doing it.
Amen. He did the same thing when I was out there. Didn't scare he? It's like if I look at him, he's scared he's going to turn into a pumpkin or something.
I mean, it's like when I was doing that week that I was out there pretty much by myself until some people started to show up. On the third day, as soon as I came in, they literally, him and Detective Carter walked right out the door, jumped in a car, and left before I could start, turning, before I could even get my speaker out of the truck.
Scared.
They were gone. And
That's
then
cowards.
I know that at one point in time, he left out through the jail entrance, which is on the other side, so that he wouldn't be anywhere near me, so that he could come back in and not be caught by me out there.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
absolutely unflippin' believable. Unbelievable.
I feel sorry for, look at all the stuff that's been coming out of Sumner County. Look at all the stuff. TBI raids Millersville while they're trying to shut down, human trafficking and kid trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading the comments from News Channel, what was it, 4, or Lady Freedom posted it the other day. And it's like I was reading all the comments on that. Yeah, he was doing this, doing that. And that was a year ago. And now the fact is that they arrested somebody for abusing children since 1987.
Mm-hmm.
I was 7 and this guy was abusing children my age. And they bonded him out. Are they going to do? What are they going to do? Slap him on the hand? Bad. Don't.
Makes you sick. Kid. Makes you sick. What's going on in this country right now?
Wood chippers. Wood chippers.
Let's.
Why not?
Hyperbole, I get it. Satire, frustration, venting.
No,
I get it. I'm disclaimer, and I don't care if you're serious. I'm gonna put the damn disclaimer on here.
Firing line. Tennessee needs to update their laws.
Yes, they do, and we've been working on it. And for 5 years, we got them to move
more than than Tennessee's protecting the children.
Tennessee sucks for child protection. Tennessee, obviously, there's a lot of deranged backwoods people that believe children are play toys in Tennessee, and it seems like a lot of politicians support that, because I don't understand why, when we expect them to step up and have a child law, they give us a child law that R-ing a 4-year-old could potentially be a DP case. But if it's a 5-year-old, well, you guys just got it off by the skin of your teeth. It's just disgusting laws that they don't even think through. Like up to 4 years old? What? It should be 12. It's just sick. I can't with Tennessee. Don't get me on Tennessee. I could go. I will hijack your show. I will hijack your show and club the entire state over the head.
Did you say club? Because when you said that, I was thinking of baby sills. How dare you?
Club. I could club them over the head.
With a baby sill?
No, with the Bam Bam. Like I think of Flintstone.
Bam Bam.
Bam, the wooden, the big, it's like a big wooden,
Captain Caveman.
There's something like that.
Just beat him over the head with a big stick.
Yeah.
What was it? Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Something like that. Something like that.
It's just. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know what the solutions. I mean, we've done a lot for your son's case. We really have, and it's like nothing's moving the needle, and nothing's getting anybody off their butt to look for him. Nothing. When it comes to if people haven't been following this case, I don't think they realize how shortchanged Sebastian did. I mean, this is a child that went inside a home and never walked out, and the law enforcement searched for him for 7 days and 8 days maybe at the max, and then that was it. They never looked at additional search areas. They never. I mean, it was piss poor. I mean, we're frustrated with, Nancy Guthrie case right now. I mean, this was horrible, horrible to that case. I mean, you compare that this case. I mean, they did a piss poor job at their. You know what I'm saying? Like, the corruption, the if it, the meat, like everything is so, like the media is just as corrupted because they're keeping these, they're not telling the true story out there. They're not holding the law enforcement accountable to you or this case. They've allowed it just to go to the wayside. Everybody has.
What gets me is that in a case where you have no, and this is me going back to, because it's been a while since I spoke to Sumner County, because Sumner County won't speak to me because I demand answers and
You
I
got
get.
the sheriff sneaking into work in the morning when you're standing out front of the office. I mean, if that tells you everything you need to know.
But what I look at is the fact that that they're following all credible leads. And when I ask them, what do you classify as a credible lead?
Bingo.
Because if you have no clue of where my son is, then every lead should be followed
credible.
as a credible lead until you've been down the rabbit hole and found that it wasn't.
Exactly. Ding, ding,
But
ding, ding, ding.
when At Night took that video footage that Sumner County thought that they were the only ones that had of Texas Roadhouse, understand that was actually, that's the only video footage that was saved. And I was told by Detective Carter that I should appreciate the fact that video footage was saved by them. I'm like, well, if that's the video footage that was saved, why wasn't there more video footage?
Oh, and never mind about the green hoodie guy that turned into be a green hoodie gal that came in contact with your ex-wife and your son, yet they never even spoke to them. It took everybody reaching out to them saying, who is this person, before they tracked the person down to interview them.
And
if they truly did, if they,
and of course I got the brunt end of that too, because Detective Carter was upset that he had to spend overtime hours to track this person down.
Oh my gosh. Sorry for making the officer actually do his blessed job.
So sorry that my son is not, that you're complaining to me. My son took overtime hours. There was no sense of urgency. There still is no sense of urgency.
Nope.
Credible tips. Credible tips. Every tip I get is a credible tip. That's why I put another 100,000 miles on my truck, because every tip is a credible tip to me.
Yeah.
Because my son could be at the end of that. Why is it that I feel that I'm the only one that has an urgency about trying to find my son? And the people that are supposed to be the ones trying to find him,
the only people that have authorization to find him. authority, everything, and they ain't doing squat.
Except for arresting people and charging them, and hi Betty.
I'm still paying for it.
I know you are.
I'm still paying for it. We're gonna be paying for it for quite some times.
All by yeah, yeah. The fact is that I mean, their actions just scream corruption. Their actions, other people's actions, taking my ass to court, taking you to court, you know.
They didn't take me to court. They tried to
No,
literally lock me up
they tried
over my speech.
They did lock you up, okay?
But they tried to lock me up even longer over my speech. They screwed up and they're like, oh shit, we got to get her through this. We got to get.
When the grand jury convened, they were like, listen, there's nothing here. You can't,
I never even, because I'm one of those people that believe that a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. So as soon as I went past the preliminary injunction, the preliminary hearing, I was like, you know what? There's no way in hell that I'm going to be going to court. I mean, I just knew I was going to court. I didn't think that the grand jury was going to, I thought they were just going to be as corrupt as I was shocked. I was shocked when there was no true bill. I was shocked.
I wasn't shocked.
I was.
That's the way it should have been. It should
have. I shouldn't know. I should have. It should have been dismissed it should have been dismissed before it ever went to the preliminary hearing.
It should have never got that far.
No, it should not have.
But it had to get to regular people that could sit there and go, "Hey, wait a minute. There's nothing here."
Right. Because that county was freaking corrupt. Corrupt.
And mods, if anybody wants to sit there and state that my son is not alive.
Smiley says I don't look good in orange. Sorry, I didn't mean to bust out laughing in the middle. Because it reminded me of Chris. I'm sorry, Seth. I shouldn't rechat. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I mean,
I remember seeing Chris in orange, and I was thinking that was the favorite. That was a good color for him.
I couldn't believe that he just wore a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and he chose orange to wear to court. It's like
to my court hearing.
And it wasn't even like mossy oak orange, okay? It's like
jailhouse orange,
buddy.
Oh, good gracious! Okay. I got tears rolling down my eye.
Yeah, that's because you're laughing. My tears aren't from joy.
I know. I'm sorry, Seth.
Squirt a lemon in your eye.
Why? All we need is freaking Smiley in chat, and I'll be.
Hey! Don't be talking about Smiley now.
She's the one that made me crack up. It was her comment. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, I got my serious face back on.
But no, I mean, I appreciate everybody being here. I still ask that everybody hand out flyers. I know Smiley does. Smiley be going out there and you're like, I'm taking a road trip for 4 days. Start handing out flyers.
Miss Sonia.
I have one of those too. If anybody wants to, I still have Sebastian stuff up with the FBI flyers, all that sort of stuff. Anything that anybody does to help spread the word that my son is missing, and getting his picture out there and letting people know, I won't stop looking. I mean, I will stop looking when I find him.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I just gotta find him. Just
Well,
gotta.
hopefully something breaks soon. If anybody has any information, please reach out to the FBI. Please reach out to TBI. Or if you see him, reach out to your local law enforcement. Hit
Call 911.
911.
If you see him, please call 911 and be like, "Hey, I think I just saw Sebastian Rogers. He's on the FBI most wanted. You know, he's here at this location." Don't call Namek. Call 911. I mean, Namek is fine. If you want to, call all of them. Call all of them. Call 911. Call the FBI. You know,
But if you do see him, please do not wait a day, 2 days to
or
finally call.
go on social media and say it. Don't wait, because
Call it in immediately.
immediately, please call 911 immediately. Things that hit social media, I don't get that stuff for 3 or 4 days. And I'm literally only on YouTube. I do not have a Twitter. I do not have X. I don't have Facebook. I don't have any of that stuff. I probably should. That's just more. He's out there. We just got to find him. Just got to find my son and bring him home. He's all that matters to me.
Do you have any next steps of what you're planning on doing to implement this? And as far as I know, you're meeting with some politicians. Is
I'm
Bullington,
meeting with representatives here in Tennessee because this is where I live here in Tennessee.
right?
Um, I can post this if anybody wants to download it, print it off, and make an appointment with their representative and help start pushing it. That that is fine. I appreciate that. If more states that are wanting to push it, then when it gets there, more states already know, and it can push it across.
Right.
I don't know what Smiley's talking about, but I don't know what she's trying to push it and make it fast or what it.
Yeah, we need
Don't
to.
don't don't wait a month. She said
Yeah.
don't want a month.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's what happened. Like that, the North
She's
Carolina one.
driving. She's
Uh,
driving, so she's probably using that
uh,
speech
uh,
to text thing.
Yeah, but the reason why I bring that up is because of North Carolina. I mean, the lady took a recording, but she drove off to go to her whatever, and it was like a day or a day and a half before she finally called it in. And by that time, we had to go on a scavenger hunt to find the mom and the kid. It was just, it
Well,
was,
when that was reported at Grandfather Mountain, and I drove all the way up there.
yeah, I
You
remember
tell
that.
me, you tell me how this works, okay? How is it that a state park in another state that is not Tennessee is being told what to do by a detective in a county in Tennessee, hundreds of miles away?
Yeah,
I wasn't allowed to look at the footage. I wasn't allowed to verify anything. And you think I drove all the way up there because that didn't look like Sebastian?
oh, that was probably one of the closest. I think we've come. I mean, I think we were all thinking this is it. Like that, it was such a spitting image. Once you finally saw, I mean, there were some nuances, but I mean, that was so promising. It was heartbreaking. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't a lady with, but it's still heartbreaking.
You know, I mean, I never even got to speak to the lady.
Yeah.
You know, I'd apologize to her because I mean, I'm just trying to find my son. I'm not
Right.
trying to, you know, put people who don't want to be out in the social media world out in the social media world.
Right.
I just want to find my son, and to me, that was a credible tip.
It
But what?
was a very
But how
critical.
about this? The fact is that they never went up there.
Oh
I
no. Remember, they were immediate, not Sebastian. That was the one that was immediate.
Yeah, that well, that's what you know. Him and her said that's not some. That was like okay. Well, how do you know that that's not Sebastian? Is it because you know where he's at? You know, and I still never got to see the footage. I just got the pictures. But to drive all the way up there and be told, we can't let you see this information because a Detective Carter has stated that we're not to show it to anybody. And I still never got to see it. How are they going to sit there and I don't I don't I cannot grasp and wrap my head around how it is that I'm not allowed to see the footage for somebody that may be my son, but yet you're going to take the word of where he went missing from that it's not.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe you should demand a different detective within Sumner County to take over your case.
It's not another detective.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's really scary.
As Sumner County has stated, as in Sheriff Craddock, Detective Tim Bailey. You know, if my kid went missing, I'd want that detective to. If your kid went missing, from what I am seeing, you're not going to find him.
Nope. Not with that team. Nope. 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 Nope.
Lady Freedom, did you send me an email or anything? Is she even still here?
I'm pretty sure she's in the chat somewhere. What happened?
It's funny. I switch over to YouTube to look at the thing, and the chat's just fucking going.
Mm. Yeah, the chat is it's pretty full. It's nice to see you guys. Thanks for being here. If you guys are here for the first time and you don't know the details of the case, behind me is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He disappeared February 25th. Last third party that saw him was around 6, I don't know, about 6:20 on February 25th, 2024 at a Texas roadhouse, and then him and his mother left and he went home and he was never seen again. So that's kind of the details of the case. His son was reported missing on February 26th. And from that point forward, we don't know what happened. Law enforcement did a lot of stupid shit, like even driving around playing Eye of the Tiger, like it was gonna. I mean, but in all fairness, he was described as an infant trapped in a boy's body. So, I mean, they didn't really know what they were dealing with at first. So, even us when we first started taking on this case, we were kind of under that same impression until I spoke with Tony and then Seth directly and started learning more about Sebastian
Oh,
and
and just don't
how
call me somebody else's name, and we're good.
and so it's just one of those things um, where we learned a lot more about Sebastian, and we were kind of questioning
I see
ourselves.
a question that just came through. I'm going to interrupt you for a brief second.
Sure.
I'll let you go back on. Rosebud wants to know, Seth, could you answer the question whether or not you saw the cleaned up taking the garbage to the street video that Katie said Ellie has? Well, technically, Katie stated that the FBI cleared up that video and you could make out that it was Sebastian. I will tell you right now that as soon as she said that, I turned around and I called the FBI and I spoke with my liaison, the FBI agent and special agent. In case you're listening, I know you like to be called special agent. My bad. But they told me that there was nothing they could do to clean up that video. That it was so dark, there was nothing to clean up to even see who was in the video. Okay, that's a straight up lie that she doesn't put out, but it's not the first time she's lied. Won't be the last time she's lied, and that's about the only thing I'm going to address about her. That video was not cleared up. It was not cleaned up. There is no evidence that that was Sebastian that took the trash can out.
And what time did that take place? Do you know the time?
No.
Okay. Because because according to her story, it sounded like he took it out like anywhere between 7:15 or 7:25. So I was just curious,
I do not remember the time stamp on
that's
that ring
fine.
camera.
It's not a big deal. I mean, if you could remember it, you could remember
I
it.
wasn't looking at that. I was trying to see if I could actually
You could see him, right?
him or who it was that was taking
Mhm.
out the trash. And well, quite literally, the best thing I could get to telling you is that it looked like Peter Pan's shadow.
Do you believe law enforcement adequately looked or scrutinized your ex-wife and her husband?
No.
But I'm pretty sure, based upon everything I know from the beginning of the scene, I think this is one where they didn't really make any statements to law enforcement that much. I heard from the very beginning, Chris was basically saying Katie wasn't going to cooperate with law enforcement at the beginning. That's what I heard. I heard that they've had problems getting them to cooperate at the beginning. Yes, but then later we found out that they lawyered up to boot as well, and I believe it was a criminal lawyer that they ended up hiring, from my understanding. But I could be wrong about
Do
that.
you
But
remember when you were in court?
I remember me being in court. Yes, depends on which time.
But well, when it was them and those two prosecutors,
Yes.
and how chummy they all were together.
That was with Frizzell, and I said when I walked out of there, I said Frizzell set me up. I remember
Without a doubt.
as soon as I walked out of that court hearing, I was on the phone with another attorney saying you were hired.
When the news posted your your stuff that you're getting ready to go to deal with.
Yeah.
I noticed that Frizzell's one of the representing attorneys.
He won't be able to. There's a conflict of interest there.
Except for it's a different case.
Doesn't matter. It's still a conflict of interest.
Just keep that in mind, because I swear I saw his name on there.
If he's representing or has any touch of that, because I'd love nothing more than to have another bite at the apple to try to take his license. I didn't have the time or the patience to deal with that at the time, but if I haven't ever have an opportunity to do something to Terry Frizzell lawfully and legally, you bet your ass I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you got to put that lawfully and legally in there.
Damn right I do. I cover my ass. I'm getting good at this shit.
I mean, you just got to watch.
Oh, Kai J's in the chat. Oh, it's nice to see you, Kai J. She's one of the gals that was out there when we did the week-long protest in front of Sumner County.
You know, I personally believe that Sebastian is probably, I would say he's probably a good 6 foot tall now. I mean, he was in the middle of that growth spurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm pretty sure that he's probably 6'1", 6'2". I mean, I know he's taller than me by now. And, law enforcement should never take anybody's just word. That everything should be, double and triple verified. I know that the FBI went and spoke to Chris, the FBI out of Memphis.
I know they took him on a ride along, which is never good.
I don't think that the FBI took him for a ride along in Memphis.
That's what Chris acknowledged. He said, "Oh yeah, I was so special." I mean, he didn't say it
That
like
was
that, but
that was in Sumner County.
yeah, but
I
they took him for a ride along, on around. Usually, when they take people, suspects or subjects, to different little locations, then they're trying to get a gauge, trying to see if they're hot or cold. That's been always
well,
my experience.
like Peter Hyatt said about that person. They're a very dangerous person because once they fit the criteria for once they believe their own lies.
Mm-hmm.
So they create everything that they say they create. And that's not good.
Right.
So um I know this was supposed to be some question and answers, but I know I never
There's
received
not really a whole lot of questions.
well, I
Right.
never received a list from Lady Freedom.
Mm.
Just gonna throw Lady Freedom underneath the.
Well, then I'll just ask you, I'll ask you a few questions here. Are we any further along today than we were on the date that he was reported missing that you're aware of?
That I'm aware of, no. Now
Um,
I can say that I've gone through a lot of tips,
mhm.
which oh, she's saying I just sent it to your email.
Check your email. She says check the
You
email.
can't put it back on me.
She
I
just
checked
did.
I checked my
Kaboom.
email before I started.
Kaboom. Kaboom.
Bob's Burgers, fresh ground meat, great atmosphere.
Did I blow your eardrums out?
No, you didn't.
Good.
Let's see, she said Detroit is asking if you saw the bowling alley footage. I have seen still pictures from the bowling alley. And I have seen the bowling alley footage where they walked through the door and walked up to the counter to, go bowling.
What was his demeanor?
Hands were in his pockets, shoulders were slumped forward. He did not want to be there.
Gotcha. Do you find it weird that she would take him there if he didn't want to be there?
I find it weird that she would take him to do anything late at night on a school night.
She's never done that before that you're aware of?
I can't say anything about that because my experience, me saying anything about most people are going to take it. Oh, he just,
Yeah.
ex-wife, ex-husband, blah blah blah. But when you have a child that's on the spectrum, you have to have stability, which means you have to have a schedule. And Sunday night at my house, where I was going to end up taking him to school the next day, it would have been like, hey, guess what? Dinner would have been around 6, shower time at 7, and might let you stay up until 8:30 if we're watching a movie or whatnot. But 8 o'clock, it's time to get all comfy in your bed. Just got out of a nice, good hot shower. You're clean, and you lay down in your bed and get all comfy and get some sleep. On top of that, on Sundays that I did have him, where he had to be at school the next morning, it's an hour and a half to get him to school.
Right.
So, leaving here and going down there, I would have him. When I had him, I was off those weekends that I had him, because I had him every other weekend and I was off every other weekend. So I would get off of work Friday morning, drive home, get an hour or two of sleep, and then drive all the way back down to pick him up when he got out of school.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him back, and then because I wouldn't work until Monday night, Monday morning, get up, drive him all the way down there. So literally, I would drive him down there so he could catch the bus, so that at least he's still starting school the same way he does every Monday. Get on the bus and head off to school.
Right.
Routine. To me, routine is very important. What you eating?
Sugar-free candy.
Ugh. Yeah, go away. What's the point of having candy if it's sugar-free? That's not candy.
Well, I tried to, I gained enough weight over Christmas holiday, and it's already halfway through the year, and I haven't lost it. So, anything to curb the appetite. I hear my
Hey,
dog.
Pebbles, if people are bringing up other creators, boo them. I don't care.
Well, it depends on the creator. I don't like plugging.
If you're
plugging.
talking about Betty, just put them in timeout.
No. Nobody would be talking about Betty. Nobody better be talking about Betty, because we did a good job on this case. We worked our little tail ends off on this case, and we faced a lot of consequences that were unlawful and illegal from where I stand, just for trying to help Seth out, help this case out, try to make sure that Sebastian had a face and a voice.
The caffeinated Duchess. Respectfully, Seth, I pray Sebastian is found. Betty, I'd like to know if the statements you're making about Sebastian are assumptions or facts you can back up.
I'm literally on screen with his father.
Hi.
Not sure what you're referring to, but I can guarantee every single thing that comes out of my mouth is backed up. I can back up unless I say it's in my opinion. Just to make sure you understand. Can I call him a dumbass? Dumbass.
I don't know who they are. When I see Duchess,
Respectfully. Of course.
Respectfully, Seth, I pray Sebastian is found. Me too. I mean, I don't speak to myself in third person, and I'm definitely not respectful to myself. I beat myself down, up, run myself to the ground. I mean, do whatever I need to do to find my son.
That's Duchess. Block that biatch.
Is that Duchess? Duchess? Is that the Duchess from,
I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Because if that's, a friend of the Proudfoot family, why are you
not just a friend? She decided to go on a motorcycle trip with them while we were all searching for your son.
Oh yeah, because Lord help us, my son was hiding at a Harley Davidson shop.
No, a motorcycle rally in South Carolina.
Oh no, I'm talking about the vigil where they were sitting there shopping for a motorcycle.
Oh, when he came up and got in your face and then left to go.
Prayer that God will show us the light to find my son, and they're over there going, maybe Harley Davidson will, Anyways, if you're not that Duchess, I do apologize. Most
respectfully. Sorry.
But I mean, Betty has gotten her information about Sebastian, who he was and how he is, from me. I don't know. I'm not paying any more attention to that.
Not worth your time. Respectfully.
You're just going to wear that one in there, aren't you? Respectfully. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm glad we're on your channel.
Oh, really? Really?
Well, maybe I should say they're glad that we're on your channel.
There we go. The truth will set you free.
Truth.
Tell me where my son is. Any other questions, Betty?
Well, it's kind of funny because when I'm around you, I'm not used to asking you questions because we just you kind of got me off my game here. I got a million questions I'd love to ask you, pick your brain about, but keeping it civil and keeping it classy. I think the only
classy. Just saying classy. Okay, Miss Betty. Tony is watching us.
I know he's smacking me upside the head as we speak.
Yeah, I've already felt him smack me about 400 or 500 times.
Yep.
You're gonna go live, and I felt a smack. Well,
as soon as Smiley made me bust out laughing, I felt my head kind of hit the computer. So.
Well, at least it wasn't the computer hitting your head.
Did you guys hear that? I heard a squeaky toy. She's got a squeaky toy. She's doing so much better. I'm so happy.
How's her leg feeling?
My leg's feeling well, but it wasn't my leg. It was my back and my neck.
You? Her.
I don't know if it's her leg. I don't know what's wrong with her. I thought it was constipation, and I really do think that was part of it. But I feel like she's pulled something.
Dog, so she probably is foolish.
Stop it. You stop it. How dare you? But I don't know if she's.
I personally do not believe that my son made it back from Texas Roadhouse.
That's a very interesting statement. Can I expand on that just a tad bit?
You can.
Okay.
I just don't believe he ever made it back because in the video I don't see him with his phone, and I just don't see. I don't see it.
So you weren't told by law enforcement that he made it back home? That they confirmed that he made it back home?
Hold on.
Because I was under that assumption.
Say that again.
I said you didn't hear from law enforcement that they believed he made it back home. The only reason I'm asking is because Tony is the one that told me that he definitely made it back to the house. That's why I was asking.
One thing I will say is Tony was never about finding Sebastian. Tony was about keeping me safe.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Tony didn't always agree on everything. I believe that there was no evidence that told me that my son was there. When I walked in and I saw the room, when parents ground children from electronics, they don't let them have the electronics in the room. when Sebastian's phone was plugged in on the charger in the kitchen. He wasn't allowed to have his phone in his room because he was supposedly up all the time. Katie had told me that she had caught Sebastian in the middle of the night on his phone on YouTube watching videos. So he wasn't allowed to have his phone in his room. I had never seen his switch in his room, but his switch was in his room next to his bed, plugged in. That's just
Interesting, because you would think that if he was playing his stuff at night, he would have the switch outside with the phone
yes.
because he's an avid. He loves the
The
Switch.
PS4 was, was the PS4 or PS? Yeah, the PS4 was in his room, but because he had been in trouble when Chris left to go to Memphis, he had taken the TV out of Sebastian's room. So he couldn't play the PlayStation 4 because there was no TV in his room. But
Why would he do that?
I don't know. Why would Katie throw away the PS3 that Sebastian had? That I had literally when Sebastian, and this was in California, Sebastian was like, Dad, I have all the games for the PlayStation, but I don't have the PlayStation. I was like, son, here, so that you could play the video games. And I gave him the PlayStation, and then she got mad at me and threw it away. Go figure. I mean, you want to talk about a parent hating another parent enough that they would throw their kids' toys away that the other parent bought?
Yeah, that sounds awful.
So,
but no, I don't have any other questions for you for now.
I don't know. And what gets me, I mean, there's other things. Like, I still don't understand why the sheriff's department won't clear me.
I think if they clear you, they would have to clear Chris and Katie, and I don't think they're prepared to do
But my
that.
whole timeline is verified and backed up independently.
Yeah, well, that comes down to this is a corrupt county. And again, one of the reasons why I believe they're not incorporating the FBI into this case more than they are, especially with an Amber Alert, is because if they hand this case over, I think I think the FBI is going to see what a piss poor job they did for your son's case. I truly believe that. They've done a piss poor job. I'm not sure if they're necessarily hiding anything, Veronica. You know what it is? It's just that their family is a developer there. Like right now, we're fighting our developers here in our county. One of my developers here in this county is worth $2 billion. And he literally buys our flippin' politicians. It is legitimately a problem. So you've got a place like Hendersonville that's trying, or Sumner County that's trying to get established, get more footing. They're kind of they were small that now is going to mid-size county. And they're finally starting to get some nicer buildings and, renovations and stuff like that. But it's still corrupted. It's just they pay for I feel like because of who Chris and Katie are, what their family is, who they are in that, you got to understand you're talking about impact fees. You're talking about stuff that that we most likely aren't ever really discussing in these cases because it's legitimately true. They are part of the political environment there in that smaller county. That's a good old boys county where they're corrupt and have cronyism and nepotism and all the other crap that we talk about when we have counties like this.
You know, that lived there for how long? How much money have they donated to that city?
I try to find their actual donations. I couldn't find any of their actual donations, but I'm sure that somebody in
I'm
their
pretty sure that
bloodline
most
is
of those donations are through an LLC, and
most likely, or a political PAC all by themselves.
you know, and we all know what LLCs dissolve and others get formed and everything whenever stuff. I mean, we know how that shit. I mean, excuse my language. We know how that stuff goes.
If anybody was concerned about my dog is officially feeling better. I guess she's finally got everything out of her system because she's bouncing off the walls behind me. Yay me.
Well, we can hear it. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky.
That's why I keep muting myself because she's going freaking nuts. And I'm just like, and she didn't go to her friend's house this weekend because, she was not
this
feeling
right
well.
here is a good thing right here. Let's see if I can slow it down. There you go. That's what I believe.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, you know what my solution is for all of
You're muted.
that's because I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Oh, Tony muted you.
I'm sure it's something like that.
Hey, Justin. I see him in chat.
And just to let you know, we're creeping up past 9 o'clock my time. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I chug a lug after this time because I'm supposed to be in bed like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's only 8 o'clock.
9 o'clock my time. I'm on my time, not yours.
You're on my channel, which makes you on my time.
That is true. My time.
I was in your live earlier today. I was in chat, but
I saw that.
I was there.
I saw that. I think you need to talk about. I think the next time you talk to your FBI friends, the people that you work with at the FBI, I think you need to talk to them about this 18 USC 1201 Section B, and see if there's any way that they can start doing an investigation under that premise. I mean,
I'll speak to them about it.
If they do have something, some way to take it.
No.
Yeah. That's just my thought. If they have any way to possibly, get in here somehow, take it, run it. We need something. We need something. I don't even think that I don't want to say I hate somebody, but I truly hate Eric Craddock. I hate him.
I don't have a lot of hate in my heart. I mean, and I don't even hate the hater channels. I don't have room in my heart for it. I mean,
I'm just so angry with them.
There's some people I despise, but
I absolutely hate their department. I hate it. Like the only person I think we like from my channel is McCoy. McCoy, I wish was the freaking sheriff there. I wish there wasn't such a good old boys club where people are terrified to run for office or they're going to be 86. I'm so sick of hearing people scared of their local government, and that's the kind of crap we've got out there in Sumner County. Nobody's willing to fight the machine because they're terrified of it.
Was Sebastian known to keep an extra pair of shoes or slides in any of the vehicles? No, not he didn't keep an extra pair of shoes in my truck. Uh,
He was so particular. I don't think that's possible.
I mean,
Can you set an appointment with the DA and talk to him?
I have called the DA.
Have you thought about just sitting up there, just not leaving until he comes out and speaks to you?
He's friends with the TBI. I have tried Debbie. I thought as a father you could read. Hold on, let me get back to
I'll
it.
be right back.
I have asked them. FBI has told me that it has to be relinquished to them. Every time that I get a tip that's outside of the state, then I talk to them, and I mean, I speak to him. I speak to my FBI liaison, but as for them taking over the case, they have told me that they can't take over the case. It has to be relinquished by Sumner County. And Sumner County won't relinquish the case. So believe me, I'd love for that to happen. Thank you. Seeing how she's not here. Thank you for coming, a YouTube member. Thank you, Peggy. Appreciate that. My PTS D. I appreciate you becoming a member as well. Got several new members. Look. Hey, I want you to see this new member that, thank you, Kimberly Hayes, for becoming a new member. Look at this person. She just became a new YouTube member.
I don't know who she is. I don't claim her.
Oh, okay.
She's not one of mine. I don't know where that one came from.
Thank you, Horsey Love.
Aw, thank you, Horsey.
Thank you, Sassy.
Mm.
We got some.
Oh, there's Chris. It's nice to see you, Chris. The mob crew.
Where? Oh,
just popped into chat.
You're not. Yeah, I'm looking at the starred things. I'm not over there. It's got a super sticker. I appreciate that too.
Oh, Rita, that was really nice.
And
Jen, woo. Hey, Jen.
5 members. I appreciate that, Jen. Thank you. Got Bo over here with the $2. Appreciate it. Thank you, Bo. I'm glad you could make it in here. We have BJ's.
Emotional support.
Roach.
Alma. I would say bless you. Oh, well. Turn your volume down. I am Bullhorn Betty. Okay. I just for everybody that's involved, like I'm Bullhorn Betty. Like Bullhorn Betty. Do you guys get it? I'm loud. Adjust your volume accordingly.
Betty needs to turn up her hearing aid.
I don't have hearing aids. Maybe I should.
Just saying. Just saying. We got Show Poodles in here. Thank you. Show Poodles got your back. Your mic is fine.
I know. Coffee Club. Woo woo.
Insane Asylum.
Insane Asylum.
We got Aletha Shadrick.
Aletha. Yeah, you got it right. Aletha.
Why, thank you, Betty.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
I called her. I called her Althea, and she called me up on the phone and said it's Aletha. So it's Aletha.
Well, I had it right then. You didn't. I did. Yeah.
Why I'm saying.
And then we got Jen here again.
Aww.
Now maybe she'll leave me alone for a week about going live. I doubt it, but we got Kiki in here. I agree. Someone can get this moved out of county.
Something needs to happen. Something needs to happen. And I believe it's the FBI involved in Summer Wells, so I don't understand why they wouldn't be involved in your son's case, and running the case. I think they've pretty much taken over. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I thought with Summer Wells that the new sheriff that just took over.
No, he's not in office just yet.
Wow, but he's going to be. And from my understanding, he's going to put fresh eyes on Summer Wells' case.
Yes, that's correct.
I believe there needs to be more eyes than what they have on it already
in
Sumner County for Sebastian. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. I mean, one set of eyes will miss stuff. And there needs to be multiple sets of eyes. We got Jelly B. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's all I want to do is bring Sebastian home.
Yeah.
And then Veronica, thank you for all the green hearts. So appreciate it. And then we got Cinderella. Henderson is still not treating it like a kidnapping, which may affect this. They act like Sebastian ran away. Well, the whole thing is that's what Katie told him. Katie told them that, he ran away. He walked right out that door.
And I just want to put a preface on that, she has a history of abuse. She has a history of being abused. She has a history of abuse herself. So, this is a little problematic.
My whole thing is if you tell me something, then I catch you in a lie, how am I supposed to believe you?
Right.
And to me, that goes with everyone. Thank you, OG Jitterbug, for the prayers. I really do appreciate that. We're more than together and pray. Things will happen. I just need him to start working on a little bit on my time. Sorry, I can't write yet. 10-minute wait for a subscriber. Blame Betty.
I set it up, guys. I was gonna put it for 20 minutes. She's lucky. She's lucky.
Big tree, short rope. Couldn't say it better. Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate that as well. Got Sharon Marlowe in here. Here's what I believe. God always wins as someone is suffering this very minute for their child's disappearance. I'd agree, except for it doesn't seem like they're suffering.
Living their best life.
And I say that because I suffered. I feel like I'm not. I can't move on. I can't move on. I mean, life continues on, but it limps on, I should say. was this: once Sebastian turns 18, you can do something to CPS for not doing it. Can you do something? I'm working on that too. I'm working on a lot. Miss Betty actually knows that I am working on a lot behind the scenes. Do you not?
I do.
I'm working on a lot. Thank you, Crime Cliff Notes, for becoming a member as well. Got a lot of new members. And I appreciate all the new members. I don't go as live as people as much as people want me to, and one of those things is one of those reasons is I can't tell you guys everything I'm doing behind the scene, because there are people that don't want me to find my son. There are people who don't want me to succeed at what I'm doing, and they can't stop what they don't know is coming for them. And I'd love to tell you guys everything that I am doing behind the scenes, but there's a reason I'm doing it behind the scenes. You know, it's thank you, the real Samantha J. Kelly East, I called my local FBI to ask if they were aware Sebastian Rogers missing, and they told me they couldn't talk to me about the Sebastian Rogers case, which is
Wow.
I expect the FBI is not going to talk about it to anybody.
Yeah, yes, you're right. We don't hear. They never say anything unless it's something to benefit. That they think they're going to get some pay dirt. For whatever.
From mom of 9.5 plus something BH. I don't remember.
That's just Horsey Love. Just tell her thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Horsey Love.
Sorry, I kind of got it, but he didn't.
And of course, I say we keep the protests going. I'm always down to go stand in front of them and wait for the next.
You know what's kind of funny? Look what I got here. Look what I had out just prepared for tonight, just in case we needed to go. If anybody knows what this is what? Do you guys know what this is? It's my protest book. This is my protest book.
It was just all your notes for Sebastian's case.
Yep.
I
sit out there and I go through all of this.
Documents, all the people that sued you.
That's we got all the evidence we need. We got past stuff. We got information about what people said. We've got that all chronologically stated. We've got it was 6:39. CP disputes the time the call was made. We've got a lot. We just have a lot. A lot. But I have a protest book. Excuse me. Catherine F. Voice's book.
Well, what gets me is that they're not in my, in the divorce decree, it states Sebastian shall not receive corporal punishment. But yet, it seemed that Katie was letting Chris punish my son using corporal discipline.
But the problem is in the state of Tennessee, if a child is considered disabled, that is a crime.
It is a crime. And that's one of the reasons why they kept trying to say he was younger, because that was before it was considered a crime. And then it's like you catch him in the lie, because he had just turned 15 and he was diagnosed with autism in October of 2023. And it's like our divorce decree hadn't changed. So he was not supposed to receive any type of corporal discipline.
Yeah, but I think even with him being younger, I still think it would be abuse because he still has the fluid on the head, which is one of the reasons why he can't have any type of gyration.
Not today, Satan. Thank you for becoming a member. I just happen to like that. Not today, Satan.
Pebble said, "Did you see Sebastian's room?" Okay, hold on my mouse. Did you see Sebastian's room that morning? Hold on, let me go back up. It's moving too quickly. Did you see Sebastian's room that morning, and how was it? Do you remember anything that stood out to you about his room that day, that you're willing to share?
Just what I stated. I mean, the fact that his switch was on the floor, plugged into the wall.
Was his bed made? Was his room cleaned up?
Nope.
Did it look like the room was tossed? Is that why it was messy, or was it because he's just a messy kid?
Oh no. I mean, you've seen Sebastian's room at my house. When dealing with an autistic child or any child at all, you have to find what's logical to them. And one of the things that I presented to Sebastian is, if you want to know where your toys are, then you have to put your toys up. Because wherever you put them, that's where they will be when you go to play with them. And he was pretty good about that. Because he loved his toys and he always wanted his toys. But when I went in there, bed wasn't made. And it's just his switch on the floor plugged in. If he had been there and left, why wouldn't he have taken his switch? Why wouldn't he have taken his phone? And it's stuff like that.
He didn't even take shoes, according to law enforcement and Katie.
Well, Craddock says that he won't say that, but yeah, it didn't seem natural.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't seem natural. Doodle Mom with the Find Sebastian period. 2 years too long. Thank you for being a member for 19 months. It's hard to believe that I started this after Sebastian went missing. Should have never had a YouTube channel. Should have never had to have a reason to have a YouTube channel. Thank you for becoming a new member. I do like your picture with the puppy dog. Just feeling like everything is always on my shoulders to do everything. Not stating that other people don't do stuff, and I appreciate what other people are doing. But when it comes down to it, wouldn't trade Sebastian for anything in this world. But I would trade everything that I have for him to be here with me right now. Wouldn't go back in time and change anything. But I would definitely give up everything I have. Have my boy home. Just, anyways.
I think it's probably enough for you for a night. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours.
Have we?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're just complaining that you want to go to sleep. At least
I am a little tired, but I'm also worried about you as well.
I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
It sounds like you need to get your own rest, so you
Another
can
one on
pass.
Wednesday. I have a feeling they're going to tell me that I ripped the stitches and that they're going to have to re-bandage
Well,
him.
so far nobody knows about that, so why don't you keep that to yourself? Just saying.
Hurts. Yeah.
Sure does.
I do appreciate everybody coming in here. I see Mob Crew came in here as well. Appreciate it. You said something about that earlier. I'm just still need everybody to please keep handing out flyers. Keep talking about Sebastian. Keep sharing his picture. Those that live in Sumner County, I'm asking you to help. Think about whose name you write on that ballot. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on with Sumner County, all the children that are being molested and abused and everything else.
And this has been going on for years, and now that they're being paid to find it, they're now finding it. But apparently you can't get nothing done in Sumner County unless you pay for it, and the federal government's giving them grants to go find these bad guys. So Sebastian's case goes on the back burners for some revenue.
All righty. Well, I do probably need to go wash my face.
Well, we just want to thank everybody that came out tonight, supported Seth, supported his struggles. I mean, this, just because the cameras are off, we get to live our lives, and he's in this constant nightmare every single day that he wakes up, and he still has to put one foot in front of the other, and he still has to take care of himself in an effort to try to bring his son home. And there's a lot of moving parts, and the fight's still not over. The battle continues, and we're I think Sebastian's army is hell bent on finding out where Sebastian is, bringing him home, but more importantly, finding out the truth.
Well, I didn't name it Seth's army. I named it Sebastian's army for a reason, because I know where I'm at.
It's forever tattooed on my skin. So I know I'm an official member. I'm official member of the club. So we don't get any more official than that.
Got the ink to verify it, huh?
Got the ink to verify it. I figured, I don't have a whole lot of cases where we fought. I mean, we fought tooth and nail for this case, and we've been fighting since. But there's just nothing's working, nothing's moving. Law enforcement is just 86ing the case. I never in a million years thought a law enforcement body would literally 86 a case, throw their hands up, and it be a child's case. I just never thought I would ever live in a society where anybody would do that. And yet here we are. So
just hope my son is at least has food in his belly and a pillow on the blanket,
warm, and breathing and living, and putting one foot in front of the other, having some time so you can find them.
And we're gonna find him. I'm not gonna stop until I do. Well, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and call the live over. I appreciate everybody showing up, listen to me complain.
We love you, Seth. We're here. Complain away. Complain away.
Just gotta find the right person to complain to get them to do something,
Well, hopefully we can start distributing Sebastian's Law, start getting some of our activists out there in the country working on meeting with some of your local politicians and start moving it up the food chain in your state until we start getting a little more interest for something like this. I mean, we know that to implement something like this is going to cost money. It's going to cost real taxpayers money, but let's be honest. I mean, we just watched the last 8 months of being robbed from into probably the billions of dollars. Certainly clearly Americans have enough money to implement something like this. I doubt it's going to even scratch the surface of the fraud going on in our country. And it's something that will benefit people.
Because I mean, there's even a dollar amount on Sebastian's Law on how to get it implemented and everything else. Like there's a dollar amount for how much the federal government has to put over to it. And it's not billions of dollars. It's starts off with a couple million.
And that's just to set everything up and get the databases and stuff like that.
And that's the most, that's the most expensive, setting up the database and everything else. That's like the initial cost. After that, then the fact is each state will use it, and it will become self-maintained by the division and by the states who are implementing, submitting all the paperwork and everything every time they do their cases.
Yeah, and think about it. I mean, we're now having an explosion of AI, which will help implement some of the other stuff and triage different, aspects of it. So it's like, I don't know. I think that this is a good law. I think that people should jump on board. I always tell everybody on my show, they're always like, I don't like politics. And it's like, you can't be in true crime without being political, because this is the fight. I mean, we have families, going through what Seth is going through. The fight is bigger than just social media. I mean, this is a fight for everything. You put everything on the line and you just fight. And sometimes that's having to go to the politicians think about it. Even Savannah Guthrie, who the hell did she call? She called Mark Kelly, right? Who is that? It's a politician. Why? Because that's how you get shit done. Excuse my language. I didn't mean to cuss on your show. Sorry, Seth.
Shame on you.
I know.
You feel that? Did you feel that? That was Tony smacking the out of you.
Sorry for cussing on your show. But that's just kind of how I feel. All right. Well, anyways, I'm getting tired. Thank you so much, Seth. It was a great conversation tonight. We really hope that, there's just something that can be done, some miracle that can be had to bring Sebastian home, bring him home to you soon. And so you can at least have closure and start understanding what truly did happen. And,
we find Sebastian, we'll know exactly what happened because he can tell us.
Yeah. So, and that's the important part right now. So keep the other stuff to yourself. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Deuces.
Deuce. Later. Love everybody. Please be safe. Stay blessed. They're calling for a heat wave for the next 4 or 5 days. Everybody drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself.